I think a lot of you guys that voted for Trump and are now regretting it or changed their minds, whatever, a lot of y'all keep defending him because you would much rather act like you didn't do anything wrong instead of owning up to it and saying, you know what, I made a mistake, I messed up, I wasn't doing my research, or I was lied to, I felt blinded, whatever it is. Instead of coming on here and saying that, you would much rather keep defending this man because it's what's gonna make you feel less guilty. It's gonna make you feel like what you're standing up for is the right thing, when in reality you know that it's not, and you know that you messed up, but you'd rather just continue like nothing is going on because you'd rather turn a blind eye to what's going on rather than have to own up to your shit and say, I made a mistake. Because y'all's pride is up here, it's full. Let go of that pride, let go of the ego, and just admit that you made a mistake, and that's fine. People make mistakes, we're not perfect. I don't think that everybody who voted for Trump is a bad person. I think a lot of people either didn't have the right information, they were ignorant, they were blinded,
Hello brothers and sisters, I really hope you're all doing fine from wherever you are watching me from now. Most of the white MAGA supporters are now losing it because they are getting pissed and furious because the black community is uniting, and they are now very silent and they are only minding their business at the moment. Most of them are not showing up to work in the white farms at the moment. After they voted for all these policies, they expected the black people to go back. Now, it is not ending up well because most of the black Americans are now minding their own business. They are now minding on making themselves better and not being the official opposition in the US. So let's watch this video, then have a really quick discussion at the end of it. Thank you so much.
Black people are tired of being a bank where everyone keeps making withdrawals and no one ever makes a deposit. And I want you to think about that. If that was your setup, would you still want to give? Especially for those of us in the Hispanic community, because it's about patterns that we've inherited and the harm that we've ignored. Me, myself, I'm Puerto Rican. I've seen how anti-blackness and colorism still show up in our homes, in our language, in our media, in our families. In many families, darker skin is treated like a disadvantage. When solidarity is needed, hesitation shows what's been internalized, and too many of us were raised to believe that aligning with blackness meant losing something: safety, opportunity, acceptance. And we were taught the proximity to whiteness would protect us, that staying quiet was safer. So if we don't unlearn that, we end up repeating the same harm we say we stand against. So disengagement is not okay. What's happening to immigrant communities right now is devastating. I'm not taking away from that, and it does deserve compassion and support. But a good portion of that fear didn't come from distant forces, and it came from within our own communities. I've spoken out because I've watched people I know support systems that were never created for us to begin with. Systems that weren't designed to protect us, only to use us when it's convenient. So while I've raised my voice, I also know too many that have stayed silent, or worse, they chose power. We don't get to ask for empathy if we're unwilling to confront the harm our silence helped protect. And contrary to popular opinion, holding each other accountable isn't betrayal. It's how we begin to heal. So to the black women and men that are saying we've poured into everybody and got nothing back, you're not wrong. You've carried movements, you've carried communities, you've carried generations without rest, without complaint, without question. And we cannot undo the silence that already has happened, but we can take responsibility for what happens next. I think people are not realizing we have way more similarities than differences, and we have more power together than we do apart. So look to your black brother or sister, look at them and say thank you, and I see you. It's simple as that. Strike up a conversation, get to understand, because that's all they're asking for, to be seen and to be appreciated for all they do.
From beekeepers to soybean to hay producers, all of them are starting to say, I never thought that voting for Trump 3 times would result in me losing tens of thousands of dollars. A beekeeper out of North Carolina says, yeah, I proudly voted for Trump all 3 times. I flew flags for him and put signs for him in the yard. But now I'm out tens of thousands of dollars due to lost federal funding and tariffs, so I cannot export my products, my honey and my wax, to other countries like I could before, and nobody's buying it in the United States. hay producers in Idaho and Utah that export alfalfa hay to China are now seeing 135% tariffs put on their product. And all of a sudden, they don't have anywhere to ship it. They held it all winter in hopes of sending it off to China in the spring. And now China's not willing to buy. Soybean producers are once again being hit harder than they were in the first Trump administration. And China, for its part, has diversified where it pulls.
You know what's crazy to me, bro, is when they had the BLM protest, everybody was popping out. Every celebrity, YG, the Ball brothers, everybody was popping out. Where's that now? Where are the celebrities now? Where are they protesting now? Where are the teams now? Why is nobody speaking up? Even Kendrick Lamar made a song. Lil Baby made a song. But where's everybody now?
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Where's J-Lo? Where's Bad Bunny? Where's Maluma? Where's Shakira? Talk to your own people. Because J-Lo was just up on the pulpit at the inauguration doing this.
Y justicia para todos. Let's get loud.
No matter what happens in this country, everyone under that POC umbrella always finds a way to put the focus back on black people. Obviously, we understand what's going on right now with the ICE raids that are going on in America and Los Angeles, to be specific. But there have been a lot of Latino people coming online asking about black celebrities and black people showing up and comparing this event to BLM. Now, don't get me wrong. We were home during the pandemic. People had no jobs. People weren't in the office. And yes, black people, black celebrities, black businessmen showed up for black people. Corporations and teams that had black people on them showed up for their black constituents and their black workers. As it currently stands as demographic, there are more Latinos in America than there are black people. And half of that population voted for what's going on right now. Speak to your own population. Stand up for yourself with each other. Talk internally about how you're so disjointed between the Central and South Americans and the Caribbean people in the East Coast. Talk to each other. Why are you looking for black people to put you guys on a pedestal and go fight for you when this is also your fight, primarily your fight? Black Lives Matter was our fight, but we speak up for ourselves. We also speak up for everyone, and we did it the most with our vote. And even though black people are saying this is not our fight, we're sitting this out, we're doing all these things like resting, there are several ways black people are showing up by not supporting Starbucks, by not supporting Target, by not supporting any company that put out DNI, by boycotting, by using our voice like I do. There's so many ways that black people still will always show up for ourselves in this country. And when we show up for ourselves, guess who benefits? Everyone else. Reach out to your fellow Asians. Reach out to your Middle Eastern Arab people. Reach out to the large Russian population that's in LA, the Armenians, the Persians. There's so many immigrant groups that live in this city, but you want to single out black people. Can't win them all. Ciao.
A message to the Latino community.
It's funny that y'all Latinos are choosing to be combative with black Americans because y'all getting shipped the fuck up out of here. And at first we were like, okay, we ride with you, but not physically. We're not riding with y'all physically. But showing up to a Juneteenth celebration is ultimate disrespect. Showing up to what we celebrate. Y'all ain't fight. Y'all did not fight to be in this country. Now, we do know there is a history of the Mexicans allowing said slaves to come over. And then you guys teamed up. But make no mistake, you all have aligned yourselves so fucking hard with the Trump supporters that you think that you can deflect on us. Check this out. I'm glad that I wasn't at the Juneteenth where y'all showed up, because I would have been snatching y'all motherfucking signs down. Yeah, snatching y'all shit down. Because guess what? Y'all got blessed with businesses that we couldn't get blessed with. Y'all go and hate on us to HR. Y'all on the contract sites, on the sites deep. reporting us. So now it's your motherfucking turn. Deal with it. Stop coming for us because this smoke y'all do not want. I don't give a fuck how many of y'all get on here talking about, oh, this, that, and the third. We don't give a fuck at this point. You showing up to our celebrations. You have never taken the time to understand what the plight of the black person is. But guess what? Your lifestyle is funded by us. We fund everybody's motherfucking life. From the Asians to the Hispanics to the Middle Easterns. Y'all come in our hoods, y'all set up, y'all act funny, and then you think that you should have the entitlement not to get your ass kicked out of this country because you're not here on the right circumstance. Hey, we can't help that we was incorporated into the Constitution. We cannot help that they cannot seem to get it right when it comes to us. But make no mistakes. Y'all not the only ones getting deported. Y'all not the only one getting ISIS raids. But guess what? We kicking back. We drinking our water. We minding our business. Don't show up to our motherfucking events because it's going to be a problem. I'm so happy that I was not there because I would have been tearing y'all motherfucking signs.
I was just on a conference call with some Latin groups, and one of them was Latins and Hispanic for Trump. They had the audacity for me to ask me would I make some videos to try to get the black people to come to the Latino side on a protest against Donald Trump and what he's doing to the Latin people in Los Angeles. And now Donald Trump is asking for the governor of California to be arrested. And I'm on the phone, I'm listening to these people. And so one of my friends, what's up, Swole? Are you going to help us? I told him no. I said, you the same person last year mocked me because I was back in Harris. You the same person. You are the same people that voted for this man. Millions of Latin and Hispanics voted for Donald Trump. The black community is not helping y'all. I'm not helping y'all. I'm not protesting. I'm not doing no videos or anything like that. For the Latin community and for the Hispanic community that was backing Donald Trump, this is y'all problem. It's not our problem. And no, I'm not making any videos for any Hispanic or Latin protests against Donald Trump. Y'all voted for him. He's y'all problem. Y'all go ahead and protest and do whatever y'all got to do. But I'm sorry, black people are we're not getting involved with this. You voted for the wrong person. Now live with it.
Man, stop trying to convince these people that we need to stand together and all that. They ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. They've been betrayed so many times, bro. 1877, after federal troops pulled out of the South, bro. Betrayed. 40 acres and a mule, betrayed. You feel me? Jim Crow, betrayed. Redlining, betrayed. Every promise that this country has made to them has been a false promise. And now we need y'all to stand with us while we march. Leave them people alone. They ain't trying to hear that shit. They ain't trying to hear that shit. Because they know how prevalent racism is in our community. And they know how y'all talk about them when they ain't in the room. And they know that now y'all got y'all N-word wake up, didn't y'all? Y'all got that Paul Mooney N-word wake up call. And now y'all want to scream unity and solidarity. Nah, bro. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. The people that have been working together, will continue to work together. The people that have empathy for your plight and your situation will continue to have empathy for your plight and situation. But don't try to convince people to come join your side. Like, oh, it's always been. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They're trying to survive their damn self. They're trying to figure out how this man is about to get rid of the 13th and 14th Amendment and strip them of citizenship. What, you don't think they know what time it is? They got to deal with their own shit. I'm just saying, I see a lot of videos where people are like trying to convince, you know, Black Americans that they need to stand side by side with Black and brown unity. But, you know, when it's something that doesn't benefit us, we ain't screaming that shit. Yeah, get mad. Go ahead. You know I'm fucking right.
All right, Latinos, mi gente, we need to do better. I need you to watch this video all the way through because it's important for everyone, no matter what background, no matter what you believe. I need you to watch this. A few days ago, I made a video about unity. You can go look at it. It's called We Are Stronger When We Unite. And the overall message of that video was, if all of the minorities, especially particularly the Black community, if we came together with Latinos, just how powerful could we be? What are the things that we could change? What is the impact that we could create? I was coming from hey, if we unite, we can do a lot. And the Black community showed up and they had a lot to say, and it wasn't great. But I'm thankful because they clarified that in my message, I missed very important context that changes, or more so, speaks to the truth of where we're at. We are in a very important place in history. We are in a position where how we organize the things that we do now, today, tomorrow, in this administration is going to determine a lot. Go back, look through my video, watch the comments. But if you notice, the overwhelming numbers that you'll hear is 92%. 92% being the amount of people in the Black community who overwhelmingly voted for Harris. Now you compare that to the 46 to 52% of Latinos that voted for Trump.
As Latinos, we need to have more empathy for the Cubans being wrongly deported, because no, we don't. Okay, this is exactly what you wanted. Inadvertently, you voted for this, all right? I'm reminded of that little jingle. I will vote for Donald Trump. And now that they're getting deported, I think, cogete a Donald Trump. You voted yourselves out. You voted your family members out by voting him in. You thought that it was only going to be los negritos, you know, the ones that look like me that were going to be, you know, deported, okay? And no, see, I know a Cuban guy. I knew a Cuban guy up until last week. His name was Usnavi. And if you know Cubans, there's always one of them named Usnavi. When your name is literally spelled out U.S. Navy and you have U.S. agents cuffing you, y tú estás, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Que te vas pa'l carajo ahora, eh? And this dude was a janitor, but janitor in New Jersey, you can make a lot of money. He had a pickup truck. Él tenía su banderita gringa, tú me entiendes. He was very proud to be an American. Come to find out que te enviaron pa' Cuba de nuevo. It's hilarious, and at the same time, it's upsetting. I've always gotten along con lo que no son niega raza. You know, the people that are Latin, Caribbean, that don't deny their blackness. ¿Por qué? Because our ancestors over here in this country used to hang together. You understand? Julio Roldan, 1970. Look it up. The information's out there, all right? Cubans, you got that movie Scarface, and it just put you on another fucking roller coaster of a ride in your mind. ¿Te creía que the world is yours, chico? No, it's not. And by the way, Al Pacino ruined that movie, and he ruined Carlito Way playing a Puerto Rican. And it wasn't me, by the way. I did not see Usnavi and say 1-800 hielo, 1-800 make the drinks cold. It wasn't me. It just so happened to happen that someone in his workplace didn't like him. They ratted him out. They got him at work, okay? That's crazy. It's insane porque he thought that they were only gonna get the ones that didn't work. Motherfucker, they coming after you because it's easier to find the ones that are working than the ones that are not working. When people aren't working, you don't know where the fuck they at, okay? But when people are at work, it's easy to find them. Así que te cogieron. And I went to kindergarten, and I'm sure most of us did, and I was always taught that the color orange meant danger. Cuidado, por ahí viene algo. Green meant go, ¿verdad? Pero since forever, orange has always meant stop, drop, precaution, mira para los lados, something's happening. So I would never vote orange. It could be another orange person that goes up and they want me to buy vote. No way, you orange, bro. I don't trust the color orange. That's the sign of a penitentiary. They put them in orange so that you can see them coming from a mile away. This motherfucker, his skin is telling you que viene por ahí, va a ser algo malo. Y como quiera la gente, no, ese es el mío. Cubans think that motherfucker's family member. Like, oh yeah, ese es primo mío, puede ser el trompa ese. Váyanse al carajo, choco de pendejo. And by the way, you didn't see the writing on the wall? Like, you coming from a country where shit like this has happened, you didn't see like, oh yeah, this looks familiar. No, hay que ser pendejo, man.
Hello brothers and sisters, I really hope you're all doing fine from wherever you are watching me from this Monday. Now, we've seen a lot of supporters, the MAGA supporters, coming out in their large numbers to regret their vote, and I've seen a lot of black Americans reacting about the same. Most black Americans feel that they have been alienated from whom they really are, and some of them believe that the history that was taught to them is not theirs, you know. And a lot of the MAGA mindset on immigration has led to a very big crisis, because most of them went to vote knowing well that deportation was going to happen, but they didn't imagine that deportation was going to affect their farms, to affect the economy, and to affect how they run their daily businesses, you know. That a lot of them thought that immigration were only meant for some of the people and not them. And most of the white MAGA supporters in general see immigration enforcement, especially against undocumented immigrants, as one of Trump's core promises, and they really voted to see that happen. But how is it happening to them at the moment? We're seeing a large number of them filing for bankruptcy. We're seeing a large number of them crying out the black community for help. Some of them, they're asking the black community to go and help them in their farms. Now, most of them are closing down their food stores. They're closing down their businesses due to the bad economy at the moment. Now, this narrows down to the fact that most of the people vote to punish the others. They do not just vote because the candidate is good, but they vote emotionally in a way that is suggesting that they are voting to punish someone else. Now, why should you vote with so much furiousness? Why should you vote with so much rage that you want in one way or the other to just maybe to discipline in a way your brother or hurt your brother? You know, most of them believed that the law and lawlessness that is happening in the US was being brought by the illegal immigrants, and most of them thought that Donald Trump was there to restore law and order after completing the deportations, and they believed that this will clear up resources and jobs for the real Americans, you know. And they see ICE as the symbol of Trump's hardline immigration stance, and we've seen this happening for a very long time. And most of them feel like the black community should be affected. Some of them, even the Latino who voted, they voted because I heard someone say that Latinos believe their closeness or they are close to whiteness, of which is very weird reason to vote for someone because you just think you are very close to them, you are their cousins or something. Hell no. Now, most of them are realizing that they voted against themselves. They didn't vote against the black community. They just punished themselves the more. Now, so when deportations happen after Trump's win, they initially feel vindicated, you know, and most of them see like Trump is doing his promise, but he's overdoing things, and this is not whatever he promised. Now, listen, let me tell you something. When they voted, most of the people believed that the US was on a bad shape. economically, politically, that they wanted to make America great again. And Donald Trump did promise, and one of his core promises were to make America great again, we need to deport people. The people who are believed to be legal immigrants, those who have brought lawlessness in our country, and there is no order in the US, that there is a lot of insecurity in the US just because of illegal immigrants. He even argued out that the unemployment rate being seen in the US at the moment, it's because the aliens have come to our land and they have occupied the jobs that the real Americans should be occupying. Most of the MAGA supporters voted believing that that was going to solve half the problems in the US. Now, most of them were farmers, most of them had good jobs and all that stuff, But after Donald Trump's win, the reality hits hard, because most of the illegal immigrants we are talking about are the same people who have been working in farms, are the same people with the skills to run machineries in these farms, are the same people who have been helping the economy to thrive well. Now, go look at the food prices at the moment. They are skyrocketing and the people feel like they have been betrayed by the Republicans. I'm not saying Democrats are good. I'm not campaigning for anyone here. But you are going to realize that anytime the political class went in power, there have always been power shifts. And the power dynamics around all this is crazy, because most of them come to power with the promise that they are going to make things better. Then the reality only hits the people when things keeps on going bad. And it is the same thing the Democrats are going to use against the Republicans in the coming elections. And most of the people I know, they are going to vote for for Democrats, because they will feel they're coming to reverse, or they're coming to save the country again. And the problem continues year after year, election period after election period. I will really love to see a very, very united people against the political class. Now, here is the thing. You should all know that the political class has always united against the people. It is the people who are divided and taken different parts in supporting the political elites. A story is told where political elites meet and have food, have dinner, have a lunch together, have breakfast together. But a story is also told of people of different political sides going head to head, even to fight. Some of them unalive each other in support of the candidates they have. If you ever meet a Donald Trump supporter or a Joe Biden or a Kamala Harris supporter, they are not in good terms just because of the political tension that exists in the US or around the world. But the political class, they will come rant in your presence and do all those other stuff to make you believe that they are not in good terms. But after that, they have some meals together. Their kids go to the same schools, and their kids hang out a lot. So who is the problem in this case? I do believe the people are the problem, not the political class, because if you can buy the same lie for years, if you can be convinced with the same lie, just a little bit of twisting and the people changing, it's like playing a chess game where you always know there will be a winner, and there must be kings. There is someone who must conquer. Then someone else comes to tell you that should I pay you to conquer or to do something? Because it is obvious the economy is not going to do well. Whoever you vote, sometimes we say we vote the lesser evil, but the systems know who the lesser evil is, and the one who is going to take care of their businesses, the one who is going to take care of their interests well. We should actually open our eyes, because why do we have so much anger at the moment? It is barely 1 year since people went to vote. There is a lot of anger being turned towards the black community. I've seen a lot of people complaining that the black community is keeping quiet, is not talking. I know a lot of black people who maybe voted for Donald Trump or the Orange Man. I know a lot of the people who went ahead to vote for Kamala Harris. Some of them did that maybe to keep their country good or safe, they believed that the policies each one of them had was the best for the countries. But it has turned out that these people only care about you when it comes to the ballot. They never care about you. In fact, these people just come to power, the way I said, to protect their interest, to protect whatever they have stolen from you, because if they leave it in your hands, it is not safe. You know, there is a lot of resentment over voting patterns in the US right now, because the majority of black voters are believed to be historically voting for Democrats, and MAGA supporters often frame this as a black vote, you know, against America's interest. I wish we reach a point where we do not have the identity politics and the identity crisis that is happening in the US and in the rest of the world. It's the same thing happening in Africa. People vote on the basis of where you come from, which language do you speak, or which tribe do you come from. You know, these are the things that are messing up our country so bad. How about we change the voting patterns both in Africa and in the diaspora? After Trump's win, they see black communities as the political opposition. The MAGA supporters, I mean, some of them have been seeing the black community as the official opposition in the US, which is not a very good thing, because I believe when there is a problem, it faces everyone. When the food prices are going high, they go on everyone. I don't know there is someone who buy eggs at a cheaper price in the US than the other. I do not think if there is a person who has been exempted from tax and who is just a common citizen in the US. So we must be very careful on how we transact with political businesses, you know. Politics is life. However much you might want to hate politics, but it is politics that has kept you there. It is the political decisions that are being made are the decisions that affect your daily life. So you must not be so much ignorant on whatever is happening in your country. You must be very careful, because these are the games that are being played against the people. That they present a candidate to you who seems to be a God sent, you know, that is going to change things, is going to make things better. But at the end of the day, you now realize that you are played, and they will bring another Messiah. They will bring another Savior. So we must be very, very careful. And we must open our eyes. We must open our must open our ears, and let's speak truth to power. It doesn't cost you nothing to say the truth. If the people can realize whatever is going on, then the political class is done, and the systems that people talk about, they are done, because it is the absolute power is with the people. Let me not lie to you. These systems only exist because you people have allowed them to exist. If at all we could all come together as the global, we could have a global unity where the people come together to discuss their own issues. Trust me not, we could not be having systems that control, or the systems that present to you candidates that they think maybe in one way or the other you'll be brainwashed to vote for them, and of which we've always been brainwashed to vote for them. Now, the perception is that there is an equal treatment of people in the US according to the class and to the race people come from, and this is bringing a lot of rage. Some of the white farmers feel like the black people are now being treated well. You know, some of them. I have not said all of them. That should be a disclaimer. That for this one reason, they are very pissed, and the fact that the black people are feeling much privilege in the US right now, and that they cannot go work for them in their farms, is really making them sick. How I wish we could have a country where people respect each other. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter whatever you do. It doesn't matter your social class or your social status. All matters that you come from the US, and you pay taxes, and there is the common idea of bringing or making the US great, and that's all. Thank you so much for having taken your time to watch this video. I really hope you enjoyed everything, and let's learn. Let's open our eyes, let's open our ears, and let's be very, very sensitive on how we transact, and be very, very careful. Thank you so much. See you in our next episode.